Today we'll unravel the mystery behind the bizarre dancing plague of 1518. Now imagine a city gripped by an unexplained dancing frenzy, with hundreds of people compelled to dance non-stop until exhaustion, or even death, claimed them. Join us as we explore the theories, historical contexts, and possible explanations for this peculiar phenomenon that has captivated historians and scholars for centuries. Get ready to step into the past and uncover the secrets of the dancing plague of 1518 that has mystified generations. The world of dance has always been shrouded in intrigue and fascination. The power of movement as a means of self-expression and communication has transcended time. But while it has often associated with joy and celebration, it has also historically been linked to a darker, more mysterious aspects of human nature. One such aspect is the enigmatic phenomenon of dancing plagues. 5 centuries ago, in the summer of 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, France, witnessed a baffling event that ended in fatalities for some. The world's largest rave, known as the dancing plague of 1518. The bizarre event began in July 1518, when a woman known as Frau Trafia took to the streets and started dancing. Unable to stop, she danced until collapsing from the exhaustion, only to resume her frenzied movements after resting. Within a week, over 30 people joined her, dancing past the point of injury. Eventually, the dancing plague of 1518 saw hundreds of its citizens, seemingly against their will, dancing uncontrollably for days, eventually collapsing and even perishing from the exhaustion. As the number of dancers swelled, city authorities and religious leaders theorized that the more dancing was the solution. They provided guild halls for the dancers, hired musicians, and even enlisted professional dancers to encourage the afflicted. Far from resolving the situation, these measures only intensified the outbreak, ultimately affecting around 400 people, some of whom died from their exertions. Eventually, the city council concluded that the dancers were suffering from a divine wrath and enforced a period of penance. The dancers were taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, where their feet were placed in red shoes, and they were led around a wooden figurine of the saint. The mania persisted for around 2 months before vanishing as mysteriously as it emerged. By early September, this epidemic gradually subsided and Europe eventually saw the end of this frenzy. The 1518 Strasbourg dancing plague was a peculiar occurrence. Though seemingly unbelievable, it is well documented in the 16th century records and is surprisingly not the sole incident of its kind, but it was likely the last of such incidents in Europe. Other similar outbreaks were reported in 1374 that spread across several towns along the Rhine River, and namely Switzerland, Germany, and Holland, albeit not intensive or lethal at the Strasbourg case. Today, we may struggle to comprehend these bizarre events, but they offer a fascinating insight into the power of belief, cultural expectations, and the impact of psychological distress on human behavior. Contemporary explanations for this peculiar event range from demonic possession to overheated blood. Later 20th century investigators suggested that the dancers might have consumed ergot-contaminated rye bread, a toxic mold growing on damp rye that can induce spasms and hallucinations. American sociologist Robert Bartholomew theorized that the dancers were members of heretical sects, dancing to gain divine favor. However, the most widely accepted explanation comes from American medical historian John Waller. In his research, Waller argues that the dancing plague was a form of mass psychogenic disorder, typically triggered by extreme stress and influenced by local fears. Waller further contends that local belief in the curse of Saint Vitus, the patron saint of epileptics and dancers, fueled the dancing frenzy. Life in Strasbourg in the early 1500s was marked by social and religious conflicts, such as new diseases, harvest failures, and spiking wheat prices causing widespread misery. These conditions made it easier for some of the city's needy to believe that God was angry with them and that Saint Vitus was stalking their streets. According to this belief, those who failed to appease Saint Vitus would be cursed with an uncontrollable urge to dance. The chronicles agreed that most people in Strasbourg quickly assumed that enraged Saint Vitus had caused the affliction. Therefore, all it took was a few devout and emotionally fragile people to believe Saint Vitus had targeted them, and they felt impelled to dance for days. The dancing mania can be seen as a case of mass psychogenic illness, which engulfed many people as the afflicted dancers became more visible and fear spread. Such supernatural beliefs can have dramatic effects on behavior, such as spirit possession, where people act as if their souls have been taken over by a spirit or entity. They display wild, frenzied behavior and reported terrible visions, reflecting the cultural beliefs of the time. High levels of psychological distress combined with a pre-existing belief in a dancing curse created the perfect storm for these outbreaks. The course of the dancing plague suggested that fear played a central role. In some cases, victims dance themselves back into oblivion, believing that only by dancing could they lift the curse. Eventually, the dancing plague ceased to torment Europe, coinciding with the decline in supernatural beliefs. The term St. Vitus dance was appropriated for the different medical condition, and the strange phenomenon faded into the pages of history. The truth behind this mysterious dancing plague remains uncertain, but it is a captivating historical event that serves as an intriguing reminder of the complex interplay between social, psychological, and environmental factors, providing invaluable insight into the nature of mass hysteria and the resilience of communities in times of adversity. As the 500th anniversary of the dancing epidemic is commemorated, it serves as a vivid reminder of the bizarre extremes our mind can reach when gripped by collective fear. In a world dominated by genetic explanations for mental illness, the dancing plague show that symptoms are not fixed and can be shaped by cultural context. These events also highlight the extremes to which fear and supernatural beliefs can drive us, hinting at the power of belief, influencing the human mind by shaping our experiences. In literature and music, exploring the themes of collective ecstasy and freedom of oneself serve as the ideology behind dancing plague. The enthralling vision of a multitude of people being swept up in a collective frenzy of movement allows the artist to tap into the fundamental power of dance as a means of declaring one's identity and challenging societal norms. The combination of dance and religion in the context of these dancing plagues is a peculiarly fascinating aspect to explore as well. In various cultures, dance is seen as an expression of devotion and spirituality. But on the other hand, some religious institutions demand respect, piety, and restraint, and the act of dancing in such instances become an agitating and dangerous gesture. The intersection of religious rituals with the raw physical power of dance creates a potent mix that has inspired countless artistic interpretations. As we look back through history, our understanding and perception of dancing plagues have evolved significantly. Once viewed with suspicion and fear, often through the lens of colonialism and gender discourse, these events have now come to be seen as symbols of resistance, freedom, and empowerment. The very otherness and femininity that once marked them as dangerous now serve to make them all the more compelling and inspiring. In today's world, the idea of dancing plague carries with it the sense of liberation, salvation, and potential. It serves as a powerful reminder of the potential of the collective action and the transformative power of dance. The act of allowing oneself to be carried away by the rhythm of the music and the energy of the crowd is an enticing prospect, inviting us to consider the possibilities that lie in the spaces between the lines of conventional society. In the end, the dancing plague is more than just a historical curiosity. It is a testament to the power of human connection, perseverance, and our pertinent obsession with the mysterious and unexplainable phenomena. As we continue to confront challenges at our own time, we can find solace in the knowledge that previous generations have faced and overcome seemingly insurmountable odds, and that the barrier of community and shared experience can help us weather even the most dangerous storms. The enduring appeal of the dancing plague lies in its ability to inspire and captivate us, inviting us to reflect on the human condition and our need for freedom and self-expression. From the pages of literature and the stage of musical performance, the image of the dancer's feet, forever in motion, serves as a potent symbol for our desire to transcend the boundaries of our daily lives and embrace the unknown. In the end, the dancing plague offers an open-ended question that echoes through the centuries, challenging us to explore the depths of our own humanity and the power of movement as a force for change.